Have you ever felt like Windows 11 could be faster? Well, what if I told you there's a new version called Tiny 11 that boots in seconds, runs smoother than you can imagine, and takes up a ridiculously small amount of space? In this explainer, I'm going to walk you through everything you need to know to get this up and running on your own PC.
So here's the game plan. We'll start with what makes Tiny 11 so different. Then we'll get into how to build and install it. We'll even look at a no reinstall alternative, cover some super important post-install tips, and finally help you figure out if this is the right move for you.
Okay, let's just dive right in. To really get why Tiny 11 is such a big deal, you first have to understand the problem it's trying to solve. And that problem, in one word, is bloat.
And when you see it side by side, the difference is kind of staggering. A normal Windows install can gobble up over 25 gigs of space, and it's crammed with all sorts of extra apps that can really slow your machine down. But Tiny 11? It strips all that junk away, coming in at a super lean 6 gigabytes. It's just the bare essentials you need for pure speed.
And this isn't just about saving a bit of hard drive space. No. By ditching all those unnecessary bits and pieces, Tiny 11 runs so much faster. It uses way less memory, and it could honestly breathe new life into that old laptop you've got gathering dust in a closet somewhere. It can make it feel snappy and responsive again.
All right, so you're probably wondering, how do I get my hands on this? Well, getting started is actually a lot simpler than you might think. It all begins with creating your own custom installer.
The great thing is, the official Creator tool does all the heavy lifting for you. You pretty much just launch it, click one button, the Build button, and just wait for it to tell you it's done. Now, you will need a genuine Windows 11 license for this to work, because this whole process is designed to support totally clean, legal installations.
Now listen up, because this is super important. The Creator puts a huge emphasis on safety. You might stumble across free builds of this floating around online, but the source is really clear. Those can be packed with hidden malware. So to keep your PC safe, you absolutely want to stick to the official tool or their own verified installer.
All right, so you've got your installer ready to go. Now you've got a choice to make. There are basically two main ways to get Tiny 11 onto your computer.
So, your first option is this really cool tool called Zeno. It lets you install Tiny 11 right from your desktop in just a couple of minutes. The best part? You don't even need a USB drive. Your second option is the more traditional route, using a tool called Rufus to create a bootable USB. This is perfect if you want to do a classic, clean installation on any machine.
But what if you love the idea of a faster PC, but the thought of reinstalling Windows and all your apps just sounds like a massive headache? Well, turns out there's a solution for that too.
And that's where this tool called Velic comes into the picture. It's not just a system cleaner. They describe it as a complete performance overhaul for the Windows you already have installed. It applies hundreds of professional-level tweaks to slash lag and boost your performance, all without you having to reinstall a single thing.
Okay, so this one is a premium tool, but it's a one-time purchase, $19.99, and that gets you lifetime access to all its features.
And check this out. This is one of its coolest tricks. It's got this amazing data compression feature. Velic can safely shrink down the data on your hard drive, and in some cases free up as much as 70% of your disk space, all without actually deleting any of your personal files. Pretty wild, right?
And the process itself? It could not be simpler. You just open the app, you head over to the debloat section, and you click play. That's it. It automatically gets to work, turning your current system into a lean, mean, Tiny 11 style machine, while keeping all your files and settings exactly where they are.
Now, whether you did a fresh install of Tiny 11 or you used Velic to optimize your system, you're not quite done yet. Let's go over a few essential tips to get your new, speedy system tuned up perfectly.
So here are the 5 big things you should do right away. First, enable system compression. That's going to shrink the OS size down even more. Next, use the built-in Configure app to get your favorite web browser installed. Super easy. If you ever notice random crashes, enabling paging files is a lifesaver. Think of it like a safety net for your computer's memory. Of course, you absolutely need to install your main drivers for things like graphics and Wi-Fi to get the best performance. And finally, you can easily change the system language right in the settings menu.
And get this, after you've done that compression step on your fresh install, the final size of the entire operating system, the whole shebang, is just 6 gigabytes. To put that in perspective, that's a tiny fraction of a regular Windows installation, but it runs way faster and smoother.
So, we've covered the what, the how, and the why, but the biggest question is still on the table. Should you actually switch to Tiny 11?
Let's break down the final verdict.
So here's the trade-off, right? On one side, you get this incredible speed, a tiny install size, and a chance to bring old hardware back from the dead. But on the other side, it usually means doing a fresh install, you need that genuine Windows license, and the official, safest version is a premium service.
And that really brings us back to the creator's main point. Yeah, you might find free versions out there, but if you want something that's genuinely safe, fast, and stable for the long run, they say the premium build is really the only one worth installing.
And that brings us to the final question, the one you have to ask yourself. When you weigh all the amazing performance gains against the effort of setting it up, is a faster, cleaner PC worth giving your system a fresh start? The choice is all yours.